How'd you get through the game, Jordan?
Well, sorry, what was that?
Yeah, how'd you get through the game, shoulder-wise?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Took a couple hits, but I feel good right now.
Jordan, what'd you think of that performance by your defense?
It was great. It was amazing. I think you hold a team to 6 points. It's great, and to be able to come up with so many turnovers like that, especially in the second half, it was a big-time job by everybody on the defense. And obviously, I'm not sure how many sacks we had, but they're getting after them, and so just a great job by them.
Jordan, when did you learn that during the week that Josh wouldn't be playing today?
Yeah, we found out today. I think they wanted to push all the way to game time and kind of see what the status would be for him. And I found out today.
What's your level of confidence in a guy like Emmanuel just to give him a week, with especially what he did with it?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think he obviously did a lot of great things last week, and he's the guy that we got confidence in. And for him to be able to find out that as well, that Josh wouldn't be going, I think mentally he was preparing all week to be the guy, and then to find out and come out here and have over 100 yards and break off some of the runs he did was pretty cool. So great job by him, and stuff to just keep building on and keep being ready for whenever that opportunity is going to present itself for him, and to take advantage of the more carries he got.
Jordan, had you guys talked going into this game about running the ball on third down, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, or was that more a result of what Emmanuel was doing, on those drives?
Yeah, I think some of it was just, the way we were running it on early downs, and I think you just kind of keep flowing with that momentum and keep trying to pound it, and O-line was doing a great job on them, and so just keep trusting that. Obviously, defense was balling out, getting a lot of stops, so I think that plays a part in it too. But yeah, I think they're just kind of imposing their will up front, and we just got to keep rolling with that.
Because how the defense was playing offensively, do you get into this mindset of if you just avoid the mistake? I know you always want to make plays, but just avoid the mistake that's going to be good enough.
Definitely. I think the mindset always going into it is, like we say, winning the turnover battle. And I think we did that today. And then, like you said, you get into it and defense is balling like that, coming up with stop after stop. That mindset is just keep taking care of the ball, don't make mistakes, and, just keep hammering away at it and keep putting together some good drives. And we did that.
Does that ever change your thought process during a play of, okay, maybe you want to go for it here, but the defense is playing the way it is, so just be a little cautious?
Definitely, always, and especially a defense like this that, you never know what you're going to get at all times with pressures and different coverages where, you just got to be smart. You always got to be smart, but, different situations. If you're down, obviously you'll be pushing it if it's a closer game, but with a 2-score lead and defense playing like that, like I said, yeah, you definitely just got to be smart in those situations. Keep trying to do what you're doing. If a big play presents itself, so, take it, but just be smart at the end of the day.
Jordan, I'm sure you guys were disappointed that the start of the second half you guys stalled out, but then just kind of what was the mindset, the reaction to getting the turnover off the punt deep in their territory?
Definitely disappointing. You want to be able to go out second half, get the ball and drive it down and take advantage of getting that ball back right there, and we didn't do that. And then obviously right after that, getting the ball back on the punt, Zane coming up with that and putting us right there inside the 10-yard line. And those are the ones where you got to capitalize. You got to take advantage of that opportunity, and that's the complimentary ball we've been talking about. Taking advantage of special teams, getting a turnover, and we capitalized on it. So it was great.
Jordan, on some of those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, are you just assuming, or are you just counting on beating an 8-man front? Is that what you're getting, in those situations? They're coming up, and you just have to beat that some way or another?
Yeah, we had some plays called, and we're trying to take advantage of some of the things they showed earlier in the game. And, sometimes they switch the calls up, and we weren't getting that. And, when you get that, that's when you just got to try and find a way and block the front, and the running back just try and punch a hole through that and find a way to get those first. But like I said before, we kind of just leaned on that run game and tried to just keep going with it, keep finding ways to, pick up those first downs.
Jordan, how much did the shoulder affect you today? And am I safe to assume that that's why you were handing off right-handed?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't affect me too much. Took a couple hits on it, but was fine for the most part. And yeah.
It's a pretty big game coming up this week on a short week. How long do you even give yourself to enjoy this one?
Yeah, like you always say, you enjoy it today. And like you said, very short week against a very good Lions team. So, obviously the prep is got to get started today, and everybody trying to get their bodies back, get back healthy as quickly as possible. But, short weeks are always tough. But, we'll definitely enjoy this win. But like we said, it's a good stretch of NFC North games right here that we got to go out there and find a way to go 1-0 next week as well. But the mindset's always to get back as quickly as possible, start studying for Detroit, and try and get your body back as quickly as possible.
Is there another gear to hit offensively, and how do you get there on a short week? I'm assuming the Lions are going to score more than 6 points than, like the Vikings did today.
Yeah, you just got to take, advantage of what we see from Detroit and have a good game plan going into it. But, yeah, you always want to be at your best as offense, and, we'll see how the game goes.
Did you enjoy playing with a lead for the majority of this game rather than having to kind of go back and forth like the last 2 games?
Yeah, I definitely think it's fun playing with a lead, for sure, And you just got to keep finding ways to keep going, keep trying to put up as many points as possible. But, yeah, playing with a lead, playing when the defense is doing what they're doing, it feels good, and be able to go out there and get a win, and it feels great.
Jordan, was Christian Double, did they have someone over the top on him most of the day, from what you could see?
Yeah, I think it's just a product of some of their coverages. They did a lot of cover 2 where, they'll have the safeties over the top. So I don't think it was anything just to take away, Christian specifically. I think that was just some of the coverages we got a lot of today.
Some of those times when they're playing off him, is that something you knew? I mean, just take the 9-yard, a couple times you just took the 7-8 yard gain if they were playing off, or you ran the little, routes.
Yep, definitely. You're trying to take advantage of the coverages we're seeing, and if they're going to play soft, we did a good job, kind of just taking some of those completions underneath, be able to keep the sticks moving. But yeah, I think they did a good job trying to take away some of those deeper throws today, and we did a good job responding to some of the coverages we got.
Is there truth to there being value in winning different ways? When you beat these guys New Year's Eve a few years ago, you were beating the blitz with deep throws. Last year they beat you in 2 games, but this is a different type of way to win for sure.
Yeah, I think I said earlier in the week, I think for them as a defense, I think they've done a good job of every year just kind of evolving and, finding ways to, find out how the offense was attacking them and kind of adjust as a defense. And I think they've done a good job. They're a really good defense. One of those defenses, you just kind of never know what you're going to get on every play, and you got to be ready for a lot of different pressures, a lot of different looks. But yeah, we've done some different things over the years, and I think they've adjusted and played different coverages and different things. So I think we did a good job on just finding completions and obviously taking care of the football today against them. But good defense, and we'll have another chance to see them again.
You guys hadn't had an opening drive touchdown since Dallas. What was different today, and how much did that set the tone?
Yeah, I think you always want to start the game with that. We always have that mindset of starting fast, and before it's been we try to get the ball at first and go down and score a touchdown. I feel like that sets you up great. And then obviously today they started with it, went down with a field goal, and then we got it back and went down with a touchdown. So I think it just sets up the game, gives you that momentum, and puts the pressure back on the other team.
Jordan, when you see your defense playing as well as they were and you have a lead, is there any extra caution that you play with, or just being a little bit more careful to not give them an easy turnover or something like that? Definitely.
That's always the mindset. Defense playing the way they're playing, balling out. You get a 2-score lead, you got to be smart with it. You got to take care of the ball and not give them a way to easily get back into that game or give them great field position. So you got to play smart, and for everybody, that's just, have great ball security, take care of the ball, make great decisions, just keep trusting the defense, go out there and get those stops.
Aside from maybe one high snap from Sean Ryan, where you still hit Wicks over the middle there, Anthony Belton playing, getting some reps at right guard. What do you make of the job the offensive line did as a whole today?
They did great. Sean obviously stepping in there. Like you said, the snaps were on point all day. It's another tough week for him with just all the different looks we're getting and the calls he has to make. So I think he did a good job. There's going to be room for improvement. Like you said, AB getting a lot of reps in there at guard. But I think they did a great job. And obviously, like you said, to be able to just run the ball like we did at the end of the game and keep leaning on that, just the confidence and the trust we got in them to be able to keep leaning on that. But Sean's done a great job, and obviously we'll keep, finding ways to improve and get better, and our communication, have, great communication and make sure everybody's on point. But they did a great job as a whole.
You mentioned room for improvement. Is there anything off the top of your head that sticks out?
Yeah, I think you look at penalties. We did a great job today. We had 2, and I think one was just communication. Everybody just being really both of them, just communication. Everybody being focused on the details, and I think we did a great job with ball security. But we just got to find ways to keep executing. I think on some of the third downs, there's still plays we had out there that we missed on. Where I think we've done a great job all season on third down, but there's always room for improvement. You want to be able to go out there and execute every third down, stay on the field, and keep those drives alive. So there's stuff to be had right there, and we'll get another out next week.
Hey, Jordan, I know you're trying to peek at the score, but with everything with the defense and with the way the game was being, the way you guys were running the ball, you said about not making mistakes. Is that an actual conversation on the sideline? Like, does Matt talk to you? Because you're a competitor, you obviously want to be slinging it some. Do you guys talk about that, or is that just assumed because you guys are smart enough to know?
No, it's definitely something we talk about on the side and just mention it. And, it's just, for me, that mindset of having a little bit extra caution to not even, take some unneeded risks, if you will say. But it's definitely a conversation. But, guys all have that mindset. We want to go out there, be aggressive on every time. But you got to find ways to win these games. And that's what was needed today.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
It's okay.
We thought you might be interested.
Slightly. So just really proud of our guys. When you look at the game in terms of all three phases contributed to that win. It's never easy going against a division rival and a team that has beat us twice in a row at Lambeau. So that felt really good, and told them you can enjoy it for a couple hours, but really today's Wednesday in our world, so that it's a quick turnaround. So guys got to try to get their bodies back. We'll get together as a team tomorrow, and we're off and on to Detroit.
When did you know definitively that Josh wouldn't be able to play today?
About 9:45-ish.
Were you kind of leaning in that direction? Like kind of,
Not necessarily, no. I try to, I mean, the conversations I had with him, I just said, hey, man, you got to, like, let me know in terms of where you're at. He's always going to fight to play. He was fighting to play. He just, there was just a little apprehension, I felt. And so we thought it was the best thing to do to not put him in that position.
How much does Emmanuel kind of give you some confidence and what is it?
He did a hell of a job, man. He did a great job. I thought Chris Brooks went in there and ran hard as well. It was kind of a weird game where our defense really had control of the football game. I've never called the same run so many times consecutively. It was like 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but it was effective. And bottom line was, I just thought with the way our defense was playing, we just took the air out of the ball and said, go win it for us.
You never run on 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4. Why were you doing that today?
Okay, that's a great question, Spoon. So a couple of those, sometimes we have some run-pass cans. They don't give us the look, and then you end up running the football. There was one in the red area where it was 3rd and 3. We called the run, and we lost yards. So I was thinking we had 2 downs. So it really treated it like 2nd down, but we went backwards, and I didn't want to, with just the score of the game, I thought it was smart to take the points there. I think we were up 11 to make it a 14-point game. And then the other one was we weren't sure about the catch on the sideline, whether or not we caught the ball or not. So we jumped the ball. Unfortunately, we missed a block right at the point of attack. That should have been accounted for. And that was, I would say, the thing that disappointed me the most in some of those critical situations. I mean, we had a pass play can to the run, and we don't block. I think it was Eric Wilson or the Mike linebacker, and he just runs through and stuffs our back in the hole. He should be accounted for. We don't target him, and unfortunately, that was the result. So that led to a punt. Now you could look at the other side. I think that was the punt where we recovered the fumble. So maybe somebody was looking out for us.
Matt, as a play caller, you mentioned the words take the air out of the ball. As an aggressive guy who wants to be aggressive, how hard is it to do that, to be disciplined in that?
It's extremely hard, but I thought it was the best thing to do for our football team.
How much did the turnover on the punt, just how much did that change?
That changed the entire game. I can't say enough about that play. It was a great punt, first of all, by Daniel, and then Zane Anderson, his ability to drive his man into the football and then somehow come up with it. And I thought that was the play of the game. That was the difference maker right there.
You don't come into a game, obviously, just wanting to take the air out of the ball. At what point today did you kind of look and realize, oh, defense, if we just do this to kind of change this approach here, this is going to be good for us?
Yeah, I think once we got a lead and, just as effective as our pass rush, I mean, this is the first time in a while where I thought our guys could kind of pin their ears back and just go. And so, I mean, it just goes to show you the importance of getting a lead where you put a team into some situations where they're, feel like they have to throw the football.
I mean, I know you're always trying to score. How do you game plan so that happens more often? So,
Wow, that is the question. If somebody can help me, that'd be great. I mean, what do you think we're doing, Pete? Not trying to get a lead?
I know, but it just
I mean,
seems to make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, absolutely it did. We had 3 possessions in the first half. I mean, it's one of those, it's like a lot of these games this year, like where possessions are at a premium. We had long drives on all of them. Unfortunately, had 10 points. Wish we could score every time we had the ball.
You're going to probably get in some games where maybe it's cold outside and you need to do what you did today, which was run the ball. I mean, did you feel like you got any kind of imposing your will at all up front, or you think you're still kind of...
No, I thought there were moments where we absolutely did that. And, I mean, they had a lot of guys up there on the line of scrimmage, and they were bringing blitzes and safety blitzes and, trying to move the front, and a couple times it got us. But I thought all in all, like, our guys did a really good job up front.
I don't know if Belton's ever played guard in a game before. What did you see that made you feel okay about rotating him and actually keeping him in there then?
I just think it's his style of play. and how he's a mauler, and he does a great job. I love the way he plays the game, and certainly that's going to be something we got to look at the tape and see how it fared for us. But he's done a great job.
Did Jordan's shoulder have anything to do with the more conservative play calling? Were you worried about that getting re-injured at all?
Not necessarily. I would say no.
What did you think of the way that Valentine covered Jefferson after Keyshawn went out? And then also the way that Kamal filled in?
I thought both those guys did an outstanding job. Really, really, really proud of their efforts. Kamal, I would say this about Kamal. Kamal has made as much progress as any player that we've had here. Just to see where he's come from to where he is now. And I think it's totally reflective in terms of how he's approached coming in the building on a daily basis. He practices the right way. He approaches it the right way. Really proud of him. I think CV's done a hell of a job ever since, his role's been expanded. He's answered the bell. So 2 guys that are young players and got a lot of confidence in.
Do you have an early read on Nixon?
Do not. I would say I think it's more day to day. So I think Thursday is certainly in question right now, but I wouldn't rule him out by any stretch.
Do you feel like this is the most complete football game you guys have played today?
Yeah, I would say this. I would say all 3 phases contributed to the win. I thought it was a dominant defensive performance, which allowed us to play the way we played. And then you can't discount just how critical special teams played a role in this. McManus coming back, nailing all his kicks. Daniel Whelan, that guy is amazing. And I thought Minnesota did a good job too. Like some of those punts they had were precision. We had one on the 2-yard line, another one on was it the 7-yard line or whatever. So there was moments for them as well. But I thought, I just can't say enough about that play Zane Anderson made on that punt.
What do you think of the way takeaways, they say, come in bunches? It appears that that's actually happening, especially in light of the ops you had last week. You didn't quite get.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a bunch of opportunities a week ago, and tonight, or today, we made them pay. So that was anytime you're +3 on the ball. You should win the game.
What did you see on the 3rd and 4th down stops that you guys had second quarter when the Vikings?
That was critical. Just big time plays. They tried to run the ball, and our guys stepped up and stoned them at the line of scrimmage.
Is there real benefit in a win like this, given what's coming next, when you can just take out the air on the ball and not maybe have to show your full bag?
Maybe. I think every game's a little bit different. I think, each defense is a little bit different. But, yeah, I just, to be able to call as many runs as we did, I think that shows the confidence that we had in our line. I thought our line was doing a pretty good job for the most part, and it's never going to be perfect, but I thought we did what we had to do to win the football game.
You've done these Thanksgiving games enough now. What's the challenge going on a Thursday game when you've had, 11 games?
I would say it's a big time challenge, but it's the same for both. So, short week, quick turnaround. 4th and 10. That's not a good situation. See what happens. But but it's the same for both teams. And bottom line is, it's a really good football team that we're going against. Obviously, they've won the North the last few years, and we've struggled against them. So I'm sure it's going to be a heck of a football game.
Matt, so do you want to finish watching this? I'm okay with that if you want.
No, it's kind of listening.
That's not different than during the week with me. I'm curious, for a guy who's all gas, no brakes, and a quarterback who certainly wants to sling it too.
I'm sure he was looking at me sideways a few of those calls.
Right.
I would have been too.
So at one point, do you go on the sideline and say, hey, with your shoulder, with the way the defense is playing, the way...
He was ecstatic. He was as happy as anybody after the game. It's about winning football games. Right. At the end of the day, that's what this thing's about. It's just find a way to do it. Doesn't matter necessarily how it looks. I think when you have a defense that played the way that we did today, you know, that kind of can dictate what you do offensively. And, you know, I thought just we did what we needed to do.
So, I agree, I understand that. I'm saying, do you tell Jordan, hey, we're gonna take the air out of the ball? Like, he sounded like he was on board with it. I'm not saying he wasn't. But do you have to have that conversation, or
No.
does it just sort of happen?
It just kind of happened. Especially that one drive in the fourth quarter where we kept handing the ball off, running, I mean, literally calling the exact same play. You know, it's just kind of how it unfolded.
Hey, Matt, I know you're not necessarily surprised by what Emmanuel did out there, but what about him allowed him to have that type of performance out there?
I just think it's how he prepares. I think Ben does a heck of a job with him, and the rest of our running backs. I think Josh is a great mentor for him, and it's pretty cool to watch his progression since he got here and how far he's come. I thought that first touchdown run, I mean, there's a free hitter in the hole, and for him to run with that low pad level, that's something that we're stressing to him all the time, because he is a big, powerful back. He's kind of unassuming at times, but he is powerful. And when you run with the right pad level, it just shows you what he's capable of doing.
Is that guy supposed to be there in the hole, or is he supposed to be blocked?
Ideally, he'd be blocked, Spoon.
Matt, you had, I think, 40-some rushes in this game. Your defense only played 40-some snaps. Meanwhile, the Lions are playing a full extra quarter. Does that give you any advantage going into Thursday?
I don't say anything's ever an advantage when you go against a really good football team. I mean, you know, they're one of the premier teams in the National Football League for a reason. I think they got great coaches. I think they got great players, great schemes. So it'll be a great challenge for us, but one our guys will be ready for.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.